What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Shawn and Lacey Live. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Wednesday, let's go.
Where is everybody?
Everybody's coming
You guys
on.
know what to do. You got to hit that subscribe button. Join the 1,740 people. I think that's what that means.
We really got to make a run for 2,000. That would be a great milestone.
Make a run for 2,000. Help us get to 2,000. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe right now. And share tonight's transmission and ask your friends to subscribe to the channel. Lacey wants to get to 2,000 subscribers.
Let's get to 2,000.
Hit that like button. Press that thumb, click the thumb, hit the thumb. You got all the housekeeping things. That's what that's what you need to do. Mirror. You want people to subscribe to your stuff, subscribe to this. You're already here, subscribe.
We would prefer it's us.
What harm does it do? You want people to engage on your content, hit that thumbs up, and you want people to share your content, share and tell your friends to subscribe so that they'll know when we're giving away money. Tonight we're giving away $500.
Yep.
$500.
5 names are going to be drawn.
You guys know the rules. We're going to draw 5 names. We have the names of every single Book Yourself Solid and Black Diamond Club. So Book Yourself Solid Network and Black Diamond Club member in the canasta. And guess who's drawing names tonight?
Yeah. Who do you guys think?
Who do you think is producing?
You gave it away.
It's Patty Ice. Patty Ice, everybody.
Okay, can somebody tell me what's going on with Josh Matthews, though?
Josh Matthews?
No, he's got an SUSBSC. Josh, what's happening with your keyboard? R?
He's excited.
He's very excited, you guys. Like, if there's are we spelling something out? Oh, subscribe. Now I see it.
This is my Josh. This
Thanks,
is my Josh Matthews impression, everybody.
I love it. Josh, we appreciate you.
What's up, Josh? Okay.
What's going on with Josh?
Josh
Subscribe.
wears his sunglasses at night. All right, Josh. We got Patty Ice working the keyboards tonight.
It's a good night.
Control panel. Going to be drawing 5 names out of the canasta. Pat's going to be announcing 5 winners. You know the drill. You got to be present to claim your prize.
You do.
Check out right now. Put in the chat. Make sure that you are actually here. Oh, look it. Tristan says that's Josh's exact post.
Tristan Parmley, you would super appreciate our Slack channel because Josh put his photo up and it was the super awesome, like Josh looks really good, clean pose, and everybody else was like, and so everybody's photo on our Slack channel is exactly like Josh Matthews' photo. It's pretty awesome, if I do say so myself.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, we all look awesome and sexy.
Tonight is Ask Us Anything.
Anything. We don't have a topic tonight.
All right, well, we'll just sit here.
We'll just sit. We're just going to sit and wait. Dexter, lay down.
We'll just play this while we're waiting.
I also realized that people probably think that Dexter is my emotional support animal because he's in my lap all the time. But in reality, he actually thinks I am his emotional support human, right? Because he just cannot. Huh?
Oh, Dexter.
Oh, Dexter. He is.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Aaron's parrot loves the sound effects.
Oh, very good.
What do you got? You got any cool sound effects? We need new sound effects because we have old sound
do we
effects.
have any
and
announcements?
They were from the.
Oh, Hazel loves Dexter.
Hazel! Free Hazel!
I want to see the parrot do this.
Okay, we actually have a great question. Okay. Great question. Right. Can you review the difference between list of 20 and 100? So network of 90, list of 20, and gang of 5.
Yeah, we could do that, of course. Book Yourself Solid. Everybody, hey, most people don't know this. I've learned this. A lot of you don't know this. We have a Book Yourself Solid cheat sheet available at bookyourselfsolid.com. If you have not yet downloaded the cheat sheet, it's a great place to start. Go to bookyourselfsolid.com. Download the cheat sheet. I get a notification when you download the cheat sheet. So let's see. Go to bookyourselfsolid.com.
If you're looking to see what a very low barrier offer is, a sort of loss leader PDF type of concept, this cheat sheet, I mean, we've talked about this in the past. We have it up on the website. It's now been downloaded over 1,000 times since what, May. That's a pretty
Good
good
job,
that means-
Cassidy Bones.
There you go, Cassidy.
Bones
Thank you,
got
thank
that.
you.
Hey, I also got to tell you, we had 3 new BDC members today. BDC's on fire. If you're not yet a member of Black Diamond Club, go to blackdiamondclub.com. Black Diamond Club is on fire. Black Diamond Club membership is up 10% over the last 90 days. We talked about make an energetic shift. You make the right shift, you get the right people on the train. Bam! All of a sudden, and a lot of times we talked today on the Stuck to Unstoppable challenge. Sometimes you have to pull the car back. A lot of people thought that we were pulling the car back, right? But then bang, you let that thing go, and whoo! All of a sudden we have a 10%. I mean, that's not small potatoes when you're already at like hovering around 700
Very
members.
proud of our team.
Now we're on pace. We're going to be at 1,000 probably before the end of the year. Just cruising along.
So I love that Cassidy Bones downloaded the cheat sheet and she said the cheat sheet is beefy. And that was a comment I was going to make. One of the things that you'll see in our cheat sheet is it's long. It's almost like a little mini ebook, if I would say so myself.
Well, it's the
But
cheat
that's-
sheet.
It's
Book
a
yourself
cheat
solid.
sheet. And we tell you guys that all the time. Don't be afraid to give away as much as you can for free. Don't be afraid to give away some of your most valuable content, because the reality of it is that somebody was talking about this today when we did a None of Your Business podcast recording, is that majority of the rest of the world does not want to work super, super hard. They want to figure out how to do things faster, quicker. They want the silver bullet. And so even if you gave away all of your secrets and said, this is how you get to where I am in my life and the success that I have, most people don't want to work in that way.
Ooh.
So they will hire you to help them get there faster so they don't have to do all the work themselves. But first you have to show them and give away your stuff for free. Show them how much work it is. So I think that's super important.
Paul,
Beefy, beefy.
Charisse, Lee,
Look at you
Bradley,
all coming in on that
Kat.
cheat sheet.
Love seeing that.
All right.
So we got to
So
talk
let's-
about
we
the
got-
list of 20.
Yeah, we got a couple of questions now. I appreciate it.
List
So,
of 20,
all right.
gang of 5. So let's get that one first. Gang
Okay.
of 5, list of 20, network of 90. Starting with network of 90. Network of 90 is 90 people that you know them, you're in relationship with. So once you are in
And this doesn't mean
relationship
deep
with
relationship.
No, but they
Yeah,
know.
they
If I
know.
ask them, "Do you know Lacey Book?" They say yes. If they're like, "Who?" They don't qualify. Right? So these are people with whom you are in relationship with. Relationship is already established. They go in your network of 90. In Book Yourself Solid, we talk about putting them in a spreadsheet and then doing a touch point, a reach out to every single one person a day. That puts them on a quarterly rotation. Right?
In fact, if you are in Black Diamond Club, we have my version of my Network of 90 Excel spreadsheet that has all of the categories that I think are super important for you to document on the individuals that you're putting in that spreadsheet. It's actually under our marketing sheet that you can download.
List of 20.
Yep.
20 people who don't know you. So that's the contrast. But if they did, it would mean significant benefit for your business.
Yes.
So 20 people who don't know you, but if they did, it would mean significant benefit. You're going to apply the same principles. You need to become relevant. We love strategic gifting. We were just with John Rulin over the weekend, giftology. And so you are going to apply strategic gifting there in order to create that relationship, because you know that if they did and they would endorse you, that would mean great things for your business.
Yes.
Gang of 5. You and 4 other people, so 5 total. You and 4 other people who service the same target market, but who provide a different service.
Yep.
Right, and so those are the 3 components in Book Yourself Solid and in Black Diamond Club. In both arenas, we teach you how to leverage these 3 different lists or groups of people to be constantly developing, nurturing, fostering, growing, and developing relationships so that you can leverage those relationships to grow your business.
Yep. Super, super important.
Saw another
Pat-
question. What's
Pat
that?
turned down that light for us since it's in my face.
Oh, yeah, that got bright.
Got really bright. So Pat's going to fix that for us while we look at the next question. One other thing, though, I just want to say about the Network of 90, List of 20, Gang of 5, you have to give it constant attention. It's one thing to just like put all of those people into a list and keep a spreadsheet. But if you're not giving it the constant attention that it deserves, it's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to be able to leverage it properly. And so consistency is key in actually utilizing this concept. Concept's great, but it will not work for you the way that you want it to if you can't stay consistent and committed to those relationships that exist on that sheet.
Georgia says, what do you think about
Yep.
everyone saying that we're going back into a shutdown in September?
Yep.
Absolutely not. First of all, right, people thought that I was nuts when I told them that
are
we
going
are
into a
going into a
shutdown.
shutdown.
Yes.
February of, prior, a month, a whole full 30 days prior to shutdowns coming for the first time that we dealt with this nonsense. I was on the leading edge of that, and I was telling people they're going to shut you down, and people were like, "No, they're not." And then other, bobo heads were like, "I'm not shutting down," until they were shut down. Now we're hearing rumblings that this is going to come again. Not going to come again. We'll have the rumblings. We'll have a few efforts. We're already seeing the masks. We're going to have talk about the shutdowns. It'll be
will
very
be
difficult.
trickles.
It's going to be very difficult for them to pull it off. They've lost a lot of steam and momentum behind this. Here's another reason. Listen to me very closely, because it's not an election year. It is an election year. It's a primary election, but it's not election year. So we're not going to really have any real reason to be doing this. However, this could be prep for next year. Right? Could be prep. We can't have it like we go away. Like, remember, like swine flu and the bird flu, and then it just leaves the consciousness. So maybe we need to bring it back to the consciousness. I don't put it out of reason that in 2025 we get another
Scare.
not a scare.
They
In
have to
2025 we
scare
get a shutdown. Yeah, we scare them this year. And be like, oh, false alarm, thank God the boosters and all of that did it. 2025, different, or 2024, sorry, 2024, different story. 2024, I got to tell you guys. So if you're asking me for a Sean Stradamus prediction, 2024 is going to be wild.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those things. I'm just telling you way in advance, and you're like, stupid. 2024 is going to be wild. There is nothing that's off the table in 2024. There's nothing that's off the table in 2024. It's an election year. Depending on who's running, it's going to be absolutely wild. Social media is going to be chaotic. You're not going to know what to believe. AI is going to be running rampant. It's not going to be a tool. It's going to become a force. It's going to be a thing, right? It's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then, we're going to have an election.
But per usual, we're going to help guide you through it. We're going to
Yeah,
give you
we'll
some
be back.
strategies.
Yeah, we'll be here.
We're going to help you create some
Everything will be
stability.
fine.
Here's what I want to say, though. I thought this was really interesting because we were actually having this discussion today. And so our daughter, Mitsu, works and lives in LA, right? And she's in town and she's here for the week with us. And she's 26 years old. And she was saying her and her friends who are living in LA, in California, were having a discussion about the shutdowns. And all the consensus amongst all of them was, we're not doing that again. And it's not like, I'm talking about people from all different political sides, belief systems, behaviors, in a very younger generation. And they all said, we're not doing that again. So it's really interesting to hear a group of individuals that were very compliant in the past say this time around, no, we're not. And so I think actually it's interesting to watch the undercurrent this time. It's different from the first time that you predicted it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. That's why it's going to be hard.
It's going to be very hard.
They don't have, people are aware. When
Yes.
we were first time, and it wasn't that, the first time wasn't a prediction, to be clear. Like, I didn't predict it. I knew because I had information of what
Right.
was coming. And so I could see, I could read the writing on the wall. Everybody else is just, they have their head in the sand. But that's the other thing too. Sometimes when I say head in the sand, that means you're in social media. And
Right.
so you're reading what they want you to read because you're following the narrative of what they want you to believe because they want you to believe this, right? So they're showing you what they want you to believe.
Yeah.
If you haven't figured out that social media is mind control to get you to believe what they want you to believe, and then you have to say to yourself, why do they want me to believe that? Like, why do they want me to do this? And then also then, if they're getting me to look over here, what am I missing over there? And I think that's the main thing that people have to be attentive to. But I think the most important thing, like you said, is that we are going to work to provide guidance. And it's like
here.
anything. I'm 51 years old. I understand people aren't going to listen until they're actually in the situation, right? We were talking about the economic downturn. I've had several conversations about that this week where people have told me, like, man, I think we're starting to feel that. And I was like, yeah, but it's been happening. It's not like it was slow. We've been telling you. Government's done a great job of tempering that. So it's come down slowly versus just like, plopping out of the sky. Thank goodness. But now people are like becoming aware. We've only been talking about this for 2 years, right? But now you're becoming aware. Why? Because Clients are starting to feel squeezed. Clients are starting to leave. Now you're starting to feel it. Now you're reaching out and saying, what do I do? Well, we've been giving guidance for 2 years.
Yeah.
You got any good questions tonight's Ask Me
No,
Anything?
yeah, I wanted to tell you, Coach Nikki, BDC
Coach
Coach Nikki,
Nikki!
coming out with a really good question. People are loving this question from Nikki. If you were to start BDC over today, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would, for
There's
myself.
a lot, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot. But for
there's a
myself,
lot.
if I were to coach myself, we have always notoriously, for whatever reason, if I were to say, like, dude, there's one thing that you cannot get through your thick head.
Hold on, I wish I could write this down. I bet we have the same answer. I
No,
feel like
we
we
don't.
should. I feel like we should be on one of those
No, we don't.
those like couple shows.
Totally
where,
not.
Okay,
No.
all right,
And that is that we build everything backwards.
okay.
Is that what you were going to say?
No. That is not what I was going to say, but I do love that answer. That would have been probably my second or third answer.
What we do teach is you need to build, build your community, your content, amplify your content. We're just figuring this out, right? I was so, like, I got to tell you guys, I am every day so flattered in recent times because we've gotten far better advice in a very, like in the last 90 days.
Yeah, for sure.
But in the last 90 days is how long it took us to get this right. We run into
and we're
so
still not perfect at it.
right. No, we're not.
still
We're
figuring it out.
we're far
Just
from
the
it.
mindset is getting there.
No. The actual application
Well, for
is
sure.
there because people are now. I begin to notice that people are saying today. Somebody was saying to us in an interview, like, "Wow, people must think that you just like bang, you sprung on the scene, and they don't know the evolution, the long time. I mean, we're talking about BDC is what 8 or 9 years old."
Yeah.
Right? They don't know that. And it could grow. BDC could have experienced the same level of growth actually in probably a year that it took 9 years for us to do,
Yeah.
which is what makes us great as coaches because we can then transfer that knowledge. But here's the thing is we typically build these things backwards. So we begin with private coaching rather than beginning with BDC. We excel, like we crush in high level, high ticket. We're the best. I mean, in our marketplace. I mean, I'm sure there's, other entrepreneurs that are just, kicking our butts. But in our niche, there's not other people that are our peers and colleagues that high ticket better than us.
Yeah, we do really.
But you know where we lose? Low ticket. Like we don't, I have friends that got, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 people in their low ticket groups and communities. That's not where we win. And I wish that we would have built that out better because it would make the high ticket even easier because we're
Okay.
so good at the high ticket.
I kind of feel like our answers are a little bit, I feel like they're pretty similar because I was going to say that I wish we would have thought differently and thought bigger when it came to our low ticket offer.
Well, we were
And
encouraged. Listen, our coaches
that
told
came
us
from
to.
Jay.
Yeah,
And so
Jay told us to
that was
think bigger.
The first thing when I saw Nikki's question, that was the number one thing I thought was, I feel like we limited ourselves drastically when it came to our low ticket offers.
Yeah.
We would say things
We
like,
didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know how.
we didn't know.
We didn't know
and
how.
yeah, we've been learning.
We conceptually understood it, but we had the wrong people on the bus,
Right.
Who also didn't know how. And by the way, to their credit, because everybody thinks like I'm always like ragging on people, they were really good at high ticket too.
Oh, yeah.
They were good at high ticket. They were terrible at low ticket.
Yeah.
Right. And so we didn't have the
So-
people that would help us to develop on the low end.
This is really good. So some of you were on the challenge today, the Stuck to Unstoppable challenge, and one of the things that we talked about was again having different levels of engagement. And you guys hear us talk about that all the time. Those of you that have been following us forever, but we had said on the challenge today that you need to be able to ask yourself when people are just beginning to trust me. Like, what types of offers can I provide them? Then I have my mainstay, like my core fundamental offer. And then when people trust me even further, how can I expand and offer them other things as well, which are your high ticket offers? And for us, that was the problem. We recognized very early on that we had offers for the low level trust, but we didn't do it well. And instead of saying, who can we hire on our team to help us fill that gap and help us get better at it, we hired people that already did what we did really well. Right. So
Everybody
I would
does
say
that.
for each of you, if you're trying to build a business, it's a recognition of, man, I'm really good at this offer. I'm really good at creating high ticket offers. I'm really good at selling the thing that I do really well. But maybe I'm suffering in my other levels of engagement. Who can I hire to fill that? Because that's how you build that out. And we just did not do that well. We didn't know. like you said, but we also didn't hire to fill it.
Well, you mentioned the Stuck to Unstoppable Challenge.
Yep.
Today is Wednesday. So you may be feeling like, oh, I can't get in on that. But I got to tell you, you can still go to stucktounstoppablechallenge.com.
Yep.
And you can register as a VIP. You can still register as general admission. You're just going to have to consume all of the content in the next 2 days.
Yeah, because it is.
But
a
if you
Facebook
register
group,
as a
but just another
VIP,
day.
you have access to the recordings, right? You have access to the recordings, $97. And like you were saying, just today in the challenge, we were breaking that concept down.
Right. And of course, it's concepts. There's concepts in there that we have taught before, but we're giving you other components of them you may not have thought about. So that's a great question.
That was a great question.
Really great
Good.
question.
We had 2 questions on Ask Me Anything. Is that it?
Do we have?
We got announcements. We can do that.
Oh,
while
let's
they
do an
cook up some
announcement because we
more.
haven't done announcements yet. Let's do housekeeping while you guys are coming up with
There's
other
no more
questions.
questions. I think it's over.
Oh, let me see.
Marketing Matters is coming up November 2nd and 3rd at the JW Marriott Turnberry Hotel and Resort. Ticket orders are rolling in. You got to go to www.blackdiamondclub.com. Click on Marketing Matters up there on that menu bar. Get your tickets. BDC members get a discount. You want to be there November 2nd and 3rd. The Shank Dilly Cup is going to be held on October 31st. So if you're a golfer, we have limited spots there. We're going to be playing Turnberry Isle Country Club. There's 2 golf courses there. Of course, we've selected the most beautiful of the 2. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And we have a super fun format. It's going to be amazing. So check it out. You're going to be with us for basically the week in Turnberry. So Tuesday,
So excited.
October 31st, 1 p.m., first tee time. So you could take a morning flight, roll in, roll right out to the first tee it up. And we have such an amazing format. Every player through the entire 18 holes could be first or could be last. Every player could be first
don't
or could be
understand what
last.
that means.
It's going to be absolutely amazing. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday is VIP day for all of our VIP clients. So if you're in IPO, if you're in private coaching with us, if you're a part of our executive partnership program, we will be hosting you on November 1st. Then November 2nd and 3rd is the actual Real Deal program. Inside there, one of those days we'll be also hosting a VIP dinner somewhere in Miami. It's going to be spectacular. We
Very
just had
excited
one
for
of
that.
those. Also, by the way, the weekend before that, we are going to be hosting our halftime mastermind. Now, listen to me very closely. Those of you who are already on the wait list.
Sent an email out today.
We sent an email out to you today. There are only, listen very closely. There are only 18 seats in the suite. Now, you can go online if you want to, scope this out. If you're like, I'm not sure what I'm getting into. It's an on-field suite at SoFi for the San Diego Chargers and Chicago Bears Sunday night football, nationally televised. That means you'll probably be on national television with us in the suite. There's only 18 spots. There's only 18 spots. If you are already on the wait list, we've sent you the links to get you registered. We're going to be getting together on Saturday for a full day of mastermind, and we have a star-studded lineup of people that are dropping in. We're in LA. We're in LA, folks. People are going to be dropping in, sharing, spending some time with you on Saturday. Saturday night, we're hosting a VIP dinner. Listen, if you are a mastermind participant, your tickets to the VIP dinner are included. Listen, other people are going to be in the room paying $2,500 to be in that room.
Yep.
Your tickets included. And on Sunday,
It's a killer deal.
as soon as doors open at SoFi, we're opening up the on-field suite, food,
game day
drinks
activities.
on the field. I'm sure some of our friends from the Chargers are going to be rolling up, by the way. Maybe a couple of our friends from the Bears. Some of you may not know that we are involved in some business ventures with the Bears. We do a lot of
We're very
work with some of the
excited.
players on the Chargers. And by the way, we are working on a new deal to move our None of Your Business podcast, one of our homes, to SoFi. We're super excited about that.
We will be potentially the proud owners of a suite at SoFi.
Which will be the home of the None of Your Business podcast, right? We're going to be moving the podcast to SoFi, be having people come in, amazing interviews. It's going to be super, super awesome.
I see Nikki caught us on here saying she didn't get that email. So Nikki, after I get done recording this live, I'm going to personally forward
dang.
you the
Nikki's
test
nervous.
email that I have.
Dang.
So I will make sure that gets in your inbox. Do not worry. I know Nikki wants in on that. And we have some great questions.
Chiropractic.
Let's see. We've
Where's
got some
Luke?
great
Somebody
questions.
message Luke. How would Nikki Cottis not
Well,
get the
you know what though?
email?
It's from a new account that we have with in combination with Dave Meltzer, so sometimes it goes in spam.
Oh, Nikki, check your spam.
Yeah, I would check your spam. But I gotta say, Kat Frazier had a great question, and our amazing BDC coaches, Rhonda and Julie, were answering her question
Oh,
about
sweet.
Gang of Five.
That's
so
why, like, you got to check out these
feel
coaches.
Like, yeah, Nikki, I think Julie Weiss is on here, Julie Bronze is on here, Rhonda Vaughn's on here. Whitney's on here, I think, as Zoom. What is she?
Brady,
Zoom user.
Matt.
There's so many coaches on here, so definitely check them out. But we've got other questions.
Oh, okay.
So I'm very excited. But let me just go back in here.
We got one up there, but I'm wearing contacts today, so I have
Dr.
zero
John
chance.
says, as a new doc in practice, what are some free, cheap ways to stay on people's minds and provide value to my community? Always looking for the next idea.
I love, Dr. John, I really want to encourage you to jump into our Book Yourself Solid network. It's
a perfect place
it's a
for
perfect
you
place
if
for
you're not in
that.
there. Yeah.
Because most of the stuff that we teach in Book Yourself Solid is free.
Oh, they're all saying Ash Tiptoe.
Or
Yep.
very cheap, right? Almost everything we teach is free or very cheap. So we have the network of 90. So that's one, to create that. Gang of Five, that's number two. For those of you that are beyond and you're like, yeah, listen, I'm not concerned about free. I want to pour some gasoline on this. Our C3 groups,
Yep.
Coffee, Connection, Collaboration, run by Rhonda, who's
Yep.
a BDC coach and who's on the chat. That's like Gang of Five on steroids, right? Just absolutely dominating and crushing your competition on a local level. You always have something to invite people to offer. Very inexpensive, but you must always have something to invite people to. We've had people that have jumped back on the $100 tabs. That's one good news. If we do go back into lockdown, you can do the $100 tabs. You can do the $100 tabs, and you don't have to do $100 either. But pouring into your community, producing social media content on the regular, I would say at least one video every single day and amplifying that. We're talking about $1 a day on the amplification strategies. That's not very expensive. I mean, so many things that you could do.
And
What's your favorite?
Still for me, my favorite thing is handwritten notes.
Yeah, handwritten
Like
notes.
if you're talking about staying top of mind and something that's free, like I feel like people underestimate snail mail, direct mail, whatever you want to call it, so much because most people do not take time to sit down and just write a note of saying, hey, I was thinking about you. Thanks for our interaction the other day. It was so great meeting you. Like that's one of the easiest free things that you can do when it comes to staying top of mind for individuals. And that goes in the network of 90. That's one of the touch points that you can have with others.
Did I call them the San Diego Chargers?
You did. It's
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
I did this.
Sorry about
I know
that,
Paul
Paul.
said
I
L.A.
do the same
Chargers.
thing.
I feel like he's corrected you a couple of
It
times.
happens. They were San Diego for a long time.
I don't know the difference.
It's okay. It's
But
okay.
I mean, it's LA, so I think it would be good. Next question. So yes, those are some free things. Doing a free event, writing notes, staying top of mind, super easy. Oh, also, and people love when you comment on their social media, by the way. Like that also goes a long way. That helps you stay top of mind. When people comment or send me messages, direct messages, like they comment on my stories, I see that stuff, right? That helps stay top of mind. So going into social media and not using it to scroll and be mindless, but actually going into it with intention of saying, I'm going to go follow 10 people and I'm going to comment on their stuff at least a couple of times a week. That will help you stay top of mind. So easy. All right, Dr. Derek McBay says, I love hearing what drives people. What is the number one thing that pushes you to keep producing and growing?
Oh, I've never said this on a YouTube video. The number one thing that pushes me is that chiropractors are missing the boat on getting the message out to people. So we were involved in all of the chiropractic communities, and chiropractic as a community is fairly small. And if you are not a chiropractor, Lacey and I are both chiropractors by profession. So that's our passion. That's where we started. That's what we were doing. We wanted to reach a lot of people. We wanted to make an even bigger impact. And of course, we wanted to have the lifestyle that we felt that we were trying to create together. And then we realized that there came a point in our career where we were amongst the top people in chiropractic. And we were going to all of these chiropractic seminars, and we were talking to chiropractors about how great chiropractic was. And meanwhile, people in our communities didn't know what chiropractic was. So we made a conscious effort to shift in an effort to grow our relationship capital and influence outside of the chiropractic profession. Now, of course, chiropractors are a strange breed, so most of them shunned us. We are not really welcome in all of the chiropractic spaces because we stopped playing in the sandbox with chiropractors. However, thanks to this move, we now have great relationships and friendships. If you watch us on social media, you can see the people that we've developed true friendships with, relationships with. But ultimately, listen, I make zero bones about it. Ultimately, when the influence is big enough, all I want is the best relationships in order to create a platform and the strongest relationships to have enough influence to then tell people about chiropractic. The time is not yet. Some people might say, well, you're doing it now. Right, but there's only 8 people watching, right? But once we have, all of these strategies in place and the social media and we've made a big enough splash, my plan is that I'm going to shift gears back into full chiropractic mode. I am the chair of the board of trustees at Sherman College of Chiropractic. We give financially to what we feel are very important projects within chiropractic. It's our number one giving landing spot. We've never stopped being chiropractors, but we have shifted our strategy. We invite every chiropractor on the planet to join us in this crusade. But unfortunately, most chiropractors only think they should lead from the front. And so, it's fine. And I'll take the arrows, because who's in the front gets shot. I'm willing to do that. But that's what drives us every day. When we make content about business, when we make content about marketing, when we make content about sales, everything that we're doing, our social media channels, we're not talking about the top 2 bones of the neck because that's not what people are interested in. And I love this quote that you shared in the challenge. We realized that rather than tell people about things that they're not interested in, we had to become the thing that they were interested in.
Right.
And that's what our crusade has been. But ultimately, the reason why we're doing that is not ego-driven. It's not because we're looking to have people ask us for autographs. It's because we want to tell them about the importance of the nervous system and the role that it plays in helping people be healthy.
And I want to add something that's a little bit more selfish around my drive, but I think that for
Porsches.
us, no, I do love to drive Porsches, but they don't drive me. I do that's always been the epicenter of everything that Shawn and I do, and the way that we make decisions.
Your whole life is monetized, that.
Oh gosh, stop. So, but I think
but
I think that's really important. That is the epicenter, right? That is everything that we do stems from that core desire around chiropractic. But here's something that I realized about myself. I was recently watching a talk. I can't even remember if it was Ed Milet or Brad Lee. It was one of those two because I watch a lot of those things. And they were talking about being the one. Did you ever see this?
That'd be Ed Milet.
I
So
think
probably
it was
but either way, it was some very masculine entrepreneur guy.
Yes, for sure. It was
Got
very
it.
masculine entrepreneur. But it was talking about being the one in your family
It's Ed Milet.
it was Ed Milet, right? I think it was Ed Milet too. The one in your family that actually makes the shift and the change to take your family from where they were for so long into a new space.
Did you actually see? I want to make sure because I am very big on giving credit because I can't tell you how many people there are out there that just straight rip our stuff, and then they forget who said it. But let me tell you who said that to you. Chance Weber.
No, but I told Chance.
You actually saw that clip?
I
Okay.
told Chance I just watched that clip. It's a black and white
Chance
clip.
Weber was talking about Ed Milet.
Yeah, and well, that's how it got brought up because I was like, I saw that clip.
Be the one.
And it's a black and white clip, and I believe it's Ed Milet. And so, but for me, that hit home to me because I was thinking to myself, what drives me is I'm driven by the desire to not go back to where I came from. And I think that that's really important. And it's not like I hated my life or I didn't love my life. I had a really great family. My parents were unbelievable and amazing, and I had a lot of love in my life. But I don't want to go back to a place where I feel like I didn't have enough, right? And nobody in my family graduated with a professional degree. For me, I listened to that and I was like, wow, that's really interesting because I do have a lot of pride around being somebody to show others in my family what is possible. And I think that partly is what drives me. It's a drive to go away from the thing that I don't want anybody else in my family to ever experience. I don't want our girls to ever have to experience that. I want to show other people in my world what's possible. I want to show people in my family what's possible, and I want to show our family what's possible. And that's that's just something I noticed about myself when I watched that black and white clip, and it was validated by the conversation I had with Chance. So it was a great reminder. All
Any
right.
more questions?
Yeah, we have lots of
Oh,
questions.
okay.
But should we draw a name?
No, let's
Okay.
just fire through here.
In the zone right now, baby.
All right, all right, all right. We got questions. Ed is the one. Thank you. It was Ed. See, people saw this. It was like a viral clip
It
that
was
went.
Ed.
Yeah.
No, I said it was Ed.
I know. I said went with Ed
But I also know that the
first.
conversation was with Chance, and I wanted to recognize Chance.
Okay. Social media matters
There was a
event.
question there. What's the most common mistake that
Oh,
you
there
see
you go.
people
Thanks.
making that hinders their success or growth?
It's not a mistake. It's a mindset. That's what I would say. I think it would be so many people struggle with different limiting beliefs, and I think that it's a inability to actually see the limitations that they have, because it's really difficult when we are living them, right? It's difficult when we have an embedded mindset or a belief system and we've had it for so long. We actually create that subjective belief to be an objective truth. Therefore, you don't understand that it's not real and you don't know how to break it. And so for a lot of people, the number one mistake is not hiring on individuals that can help them uncover that mindset that's actually limiting them from their success and their true desire to have the lifestyle that they want.
I have just two things, but it's one and the same. Trying to be all things to all people, while at the same time that fits into like trying to please everyone, which also then falls into trying to listen to everyone. You look at The Ultimate Fighter. Michael Chandler. This last weekend, he had in the finals an instance where he had two of his team. They were fighting each other. Right. And he was like, so I'm just going to wish them both well, not really like root or advise either one. Well, that's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right? Because I talk about this a lot in MMA fighting, you have a lot of people, and I heard you talking about this the other day to somebody, you have a lot of people on your training team, right? You have a striking coach, wrestling coach, jiu-jitsu guy, fitness, nutrition, you got all these people on a team, but in the octagon, there's one voice that you listen to. You have a head coach. Mm-hmm. So many of you don't understand that you're trying to listen to so many people, and that's absolutely killing your success. It's fewer better people, there's fewer better things with fewer better people, trying to be all things to everybody, trying to listen to everybody. And I'll give you one more that I noticed that just over time, with whatever modicum of success that we've had, a very modest level of success. But one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes you think you're being cool by being all things to all people. I think that one of the things too that you don't really get to notice is at high levels the people who have already cut you off and you don't know it. Mm. You've already made enemies because you were trying to be funny, you were trying to be, clever and cool on social media. And maybe some people were, the trolls, we're talking about that today in a podcast with somebody. Maybe the trolls are making, really smart aleck or dumbass comments. And you start to like jump in because you think like it's the cool kids. We had this even in elementary school, right? Somebody's being bullied and, you just get caught up in it. But you don't realize that they're in the world, maybe not in elementary school, they're in the world, there are people that are watching and they see your behavior and they have already cut you off and you're doomed, right? You've lost friends and you don't know it. You've lost relationship capital and you don't know it. I think that's a big mistake that people make because I would rather have a conviction and stand up for what's right. And we've seen that, people like Clinton Sparks, has gotten to where he is because he made smart decisions and stood up for the right things.
Yep.
And I think that, it'd be easy. And in his story, it'd be easy to fall into traps and it probably would have been extremely detrimental to his life versus dig in and stand up for what's right. Listen, I think for a lot of you, when you see things, especially in the business world, and they're not right, and people are talking smack and talking about people and talking about things that they don't know, and you don't stick up for people, and in fact, you pile on, you don't realize that you've destroyed relationships. And I think that, listen, don't be all things to all people, but stand up for what's right.
Yeah, I love that. What else we got? We got more questions, huh?
Sweet. What do you got, Patty?
I keep putting them up on the board.
What you got, Pat? What you got next?
Oh, good price point to start a paid subscription group. Depends what it is. Listen, you can see my fingerprints all over the people that I work with. I would start out extremely low, like way below what you think what you think it's worth. But I would set KPIs or goals, and so I don't know. It might be $7, $19, really low.
Start, yeah. Oh,
For us in BDC,
we
it
always
was
say
$40.
start low though. Like you can
Yes.
always raise your prices. It's so much harder to
Well, that's a telltale sign.
charge people too high and then be like,
Then you're
then I
stuck.
got a discount. Yeah.
Yeah, so I start low, but then you fall into like all these people like, oh, I got the triple early bird, and the early bird pricing's been extended. No,
I
it
got the
wasn't.
early
You
bird,
couldn't.
bird.
You couldn't sell it. You couldn't sell it. You mispriced, right? Like get a coach. So I like to start low, fill it. So whatever that mark would be, and I'm happy to jump on a call and tell you like what I think
you
you
should
should
go.
do it, and then all of a sudden the price goes up, and that goes to the next level, and then the price goes up until you kind of find your sweet spot. I'd rather, like you said, be too low and raise price versus be too high and then not have the
Try
clients.
to cut them down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. What we got next?
Let's see. Here we go. From Vanessa.
Raising capital
Vanessa.
strategies, expeditiously raising capital for a quick acquisition. Listen, there's two elements to this. So when I see raising capital, there is raising capital money, and there's raising capital relationship capital.
Yes.
So what you're really looking for is if you can get a 2-for-1 in this deal. Actually, for all of my executive partners, I have a couple really interesting deals that we're looking at, some fascinating deals. And the only people that now I'm allowing to invest with us are our executive partners. If you want to know more about becoming an executive partner, get with Jane at blackdiamondclub.com. I have some really interesting deals. In fact, one of the deals, though, that we had done previously, every investor was offered a 2x multiple to jump out, to
In
get
a
out.
year.
In less than a year.
In less than a
In
year.
less than a year.
That's unbelievable return
So
on
we're
your
talking
money.
about doubling up their money. Some of these same people question our wherewithal in doing this, but listen, this is what I would tell you. Executive partnership, $75,000 a year to work with me on a one-on-one basis for a year. If you had put $75,000 into that investment, you would be being cashed out at $150.
Yeah.
Which means that you would have 2 years of executive partnership for free by having made that one investment, right? So I think to that point, it's people, right? In these, I look at not only what money do you need, but very close 1B is who else is involved.
Yes.
Like that's the
Super
most important
close.
thing for me. Who else is involved? This is also part of the play, right? So other people are looking at who else is involved, which might cause them to say, like, I just want to buy out Lacey. One, because I want to cash her out because I want her equity, but two, because maybe she's not the right person to be involved. I'm trying to get the right people on the boat, so I'll just cash you out, even though I might be overpaying. I'm just trying to cash you out. But the right people will be able to accelerate the business to an exit, not the right money. So many people get that confused. You might be funded properly, but if you don't have the right relationships and connections, you're not
You're
positioned
not
for
going to
an
be able
exit.
to go anywhere. Yeah.
And so it's the right money with the right people. And it's
Right.
an interesting world of capital raises and investing. It's fascinating. I love it. It's an adrenaline laced world, but it's really about the people.
Yes. Next question. Do you see Kat's question there, Pat?
Yep, he's got it up.
Perfect. When time and energy mean you cannot implement everything, what's the most important thing to focus on first, second, and third?
The ones that make the most money.
Well, the ones that make the most money, so big return there. And also you want to look at the ones that give you back the most amount of time. Because then when you get back some of your time, then you can utilize that time to do the very things that make you a lot of money.
Right, but so that's why the order, though. People get so confused, like, and that's where, ignorant people are like, oh, you're all about the money. The money is what allows you to buy back your time, right? So you've got to focus on what creates the revenue. So many people are focused on all these things that are like 5 steps away from the revenue, which is why, by the way, earlier when asked about what mistakes we've made, that's why we focus on the high ticket earlier. And that's why we're so good at it, is out of necessity. Because when you can sell the high ticket, then you're able to bring in the money, and then that is what allows you to buy back the time.
Yeah. Well, as I
Not
say,
the easiest way and
it's
not the smartest way, but it's
has
what
to
we
be,
did.
Here's the caveat, and this is for me, and I might not be speaking for everybody, but I'm only going to pick that thing, and if it makes me a lot of money, but it's in alignment with the very goals that
I
I'm
think
trying to go.
that's a given.
Yeah, but that's not. Some people will pick the thing that makes them the most money, even though they don't love doing it,
Yeah,
because
we had
they
that in the
need the
challenge today.
money.
But then
Yeah.
eventually that's not going
You
to
got
work.
to make sure that it's something that's in alignment with the goal that you have set and say, do I feel good about doing
But
this?
I'm also going to say it's not going to work. If you pick the thing because I was picking that because of money,
Yeah, you're not going to actually
I'm
make the
forcing
money.
it. It's not. You're not going to make the money. And some people are in that spot. You just need to be honest with yourself. You're like, hey, I picked this thing. I got to be honest. The only reason why I did this, not because I believe in the thing, but because I wanted the money.
Yes.
That's why I'm struggling.
That
right?
you're going to have a lot of resistance. So it's got to make you a lot of money. It's got to be in alignment with where you're trying to go. And then after that, then you're going to pick the things that bring you back a lot of time. So then you can use that time to make more money.
Yep.
Yeah.
And energy.
And energy. Yes. Love it. All right. I think
That's
that's it. All right.
Names. $500. Let's give away
We
$500.
got 5 names. You guys had great
Need
questions.
to put dinner in the oven. Let's get this popping.
I love it. All right. I got
Oh,
5
we forgot to
on
tell
it.
everybody, speaking of investments, tonight's episode is sponsored by our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends at Cram Nutrition. Go to cramnutrition.com. Use discount code BDC20. Cramnutrition.com. Hey, Dana White loves it. We are in all your Meijer stores, although I would prefer you go to cramnutrition.com. We'll get you a discount. Use discount code BDC20. But if you have a Meijer nearby, you can rock down to Meijer. We are in Sprouts. We are in, what's that other one? Erewhon.
Erewhon.
We're in Erewhon.
Erewhon.
Coming
And,
soon.
well,
we have
that's a
another
very
major. We have
LA
another major
high-end
chain that's talking to us.
restaurant, or- yeah.
Listen, Cram Nutrition. That's another one of
Shopping center.
our investments. We're taking off. We're going to the moon, folks.
BDC
We would
20.
love your support. Cramnutrition.com. BDC20 is your discount code. Try it.
Get your
Let
cram
us know
on.
what you think. That cram is sick.
Get
You're
your
going to
cram
love
on.
it.
What do we got? Name number 1. Oh, get your timer ready. Get your timer ready. All right.
Yeah, the names are getting synced. Canasta's getting so full, they keep falling out.
I know we have to
5
figure
names
out the
tonight.
canasta
5
thing.
names. No, I'm
yeah.
gonna go pretty soon. I don't know why it's taking so long. We got the best team on the planet. I want to go to the digital.
Well, it's one of those
James.
things. Our team's like, we're doing all these other things that are in
They are.
alignment with where we're trying to go, helping our people, making our money. That we like the squeaky canasta.
I want a digital canasta.
I know.
It does have a nice feel. To it.
Digital
does.
canasta.
All right, kids.
All right. Name
Wants to
number
win Some
1.
money.
Who wants to win some
Money.
money, money, money?
Where's Mike Merck?
He's on. I saw him.
He's here.
Mike, this is your chance. We'll see if we call your name.
Yep.
All right.
There he is.
Lottery ping pong balls. That's a good idea. That's
and
actually
a little
fun.
like that air thing.
All right.
All right.
Pat.
Ready, kids? All right.
I can't see my face.
Stephen.
Nix.
Stevie
Barger.
Nicks. Stephen Barger.
Stephen Barger.
Barger. Stephen Barger. I think that's a BYS person.
Stephen
actually.
Barger.
Stephen Cheeseburger.
Stephen Cheeseburger. You have won $500. You have 10 seconds to appear. Reveal yourself, Stephen Barger.
Stephen Cheeseburger.
And you shall
I love it.
receive
That's a cute name.
$500. Stephen Cheeseburger.
Oh, that's
You-
Brady's coaching client. See, Mike Mark, he is the real deal.
Oh, but you can't claim it through
No,
your
you can't
coach.
coach. I know, you can't.
Brady.
But he literally, Brady, he could have just paid for partial month of coaching
Yeah,
with you
what the heck?
by coming on here and getting $500.
Mindset concepts. All you gotta do is show up. Showing up.
Brady, you better text him and let him
90% of the
know.
Yeah, Brady, you
You were,
text Stephen
you were trying
Cheeseburger.
to claim it on his behalf.
You tell
I love
him.
it.
You tell him.
I love it.
Cheeseburger.
All
right.
right.
That one. We love our nicknames. All right,
We do.
kids.
Who's next?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Do that. Where's our music? Mary Pelliser? Pelliker?
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
with
go with
Pelliser.
Pelliser?
I'll go with Pelliser.
Mary Pelliser. Mary Pelliser. We're going with Mary Pelliser.
Mary.
Mary Pelliser. James
Mary.
Taylor. Do you think that's a real person? Where's James Taylor? Has he been on today?
I think he's been on. Yeah, there he is. Mary Poppins, he
Mary
says.
Poppins. Mary
Mary
Pelliser.
Pelliser. The
What
money
happens now
was
that
yours.
We got so many names in there. It's
The
like,
money was yours.
dang, there are
Yeah.
1,000 names in the canasta. So we don't.
Skip needs a new putter.
needs a
Come
new
on,
putter.
Pat.
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
I'll sell you my putter. It doesn't work. It stopped working. That's the
My putter's
problem.
been working decently.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I like to hear.
But it's a lefty. Nobody wants it.
Just for everybody to know, I'm like playing terrible, but the Chatham Hills Senior Club Championship is this weekend. and this is the first year that I'm eligible to participate in the AARP
My old
Citizens-
man
the
is
Senior
officially
Citizens
an
Club.
AARP
It's
Open.
the AARP this weekend. Let's go.
Just
Name
call him
number
Sean Senior Dill.
Call me Freddie Couples out there. Come on.
Oh,
Number
love
3.
it. All right.
All right, kids.
Name number 3
is Antonia
Goldman.
Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
Antonia Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
Let's go. Maybe they call her Tony.
Yeah.
Tony
Goldman.
Goldman.
Oh, it's a Life Wester.
Let's go.
Another student.
Another student.
Come on,
You are
Antonia
the winner,
Goldman.
Antonia.
We have so much confirmation that these people are real,
How
and
all
they're
these,
not on.
all these students
yeah,
win.
I know. Tony Sachs.
Tony Sachs.
All right, a TAT student.
And
See,
Antonia.
should have
We
been
tried.
on.
I
We're
mean,
trying
hey,
to-
we did
always try
everything.
to- we always try to
can't-
give away money
We
to
can't
students.
show up for you. We can't do your success. You
Yeah.
gotta like press YouTube. I don't
know.
know. It's not that complex. You just show
Even
up.
if you have it running in the background, just enough, like
you
when
hear
you
your
hear
name.
like
Be
your
like,
name
"Whoa,
is
that's
like,
me."
yeah, exactly. All right,
I haven't
okay.
picked a winner since.
Come on, Pat, get
Ask
it together.
Grant to pronounce her name.
Grant. What'd Grant say?
I can't remember.
What'd Grant say?
Antanya or
Southside.
something? He
And
didn't.
Tanya?
Yeah, he
And
did not-
Tanya.
he
That's
did
what he
not
said.
spec-
And Tanya. And Tanya. That's what he called. He called Antonia Goldman and Tanya. And I said, "What? Why do you think it was Antanya?"
Because he's from Little
because,
Rock.
No, because and then if it was by itself, Tonia would be Tanya. So he literally called this person Antanya.
Oh, Grant Dennis.
All
That's how
right.
they say it in Little Rock. Antanya.
Yeah, that's how Grant says it in Little Rock. All right, what name
All
are
right,
we on?
kids, Name number 4.
Name number 4.
Bang. Jeff
Merkel.
Merkel.
Jeff Merkel.
You
That's
know
a great
Jeff
name.
Merkel?
No, but I
Oh,
like
you're
that
acting
name.
like it.
Yeah.
Isn't
Jeff
that like
Merkel.
Isn't Merkel the Suits person?
Oh. No. It's not Merkel.
Queen.
Oh yeah, Meghan Markle. Not Merkel.
Meghan Merkel.
Jeff
And
Merkel.
Meghan
Jeff
and
Merkel.
Jeff Merkel. Let's
Yes.
go.
I love it.
Oh, anything?
Dingle
Anybody?
McCringleberry. Do you know what?
McCringleberry.
Yeah, so that's actually what that's our.
McCringleberry.
Wasn't that our
That's
That would be great. We should do that
No,
one
I
week.
thought
Next
Hinkle-
winner's
Oh, Hinkle
fudge.
Jammy.
Fudge.
Hinkle Jammy.
LSU.
Hinkle.
That's
It's
our
Hinkle.
Wi-Fi.
Our
It's actually
Wi-Fi.
Hinkle McCringleberry,
Hinkle
not
McCringleberry.
Dingle. Hinkle
It's
McCringleberry.
Hinkle McCringle.
Also the name of my daughter's first toy doll.
Hinkle McCringleberry.
Yes.
She found that out.
That is why you so lovingly named our Wi-Fi Hinkle Jammy. Yes.
You can only do 2 pumps, not 3. 1, 2. Don't do it. 3.
All
Sean
right.
and I are just kids. No biggie.
Yes, you are. All right.
All right,
So
last winner here. I haven't
No,
picked a
is this-
winner in.
is it number 5?
This is
number 5.
Oh shoot! This is our last chance. Last call, everybody. Last call.
All right.
you guys are having fun tonight.
Dale.
Dale.
Elwin.
Dale
Dale
Elwin.
Earnhardt Elwin.
Elwin.
Elwin?
You going
Yes.
Elwin.
Elwine.
Elwin. I'm going
Elwin.
Elwin.
All right.
Elwin.
Dale Elwin.
Dale Elwin.
Bingo
Yes.
is Einhorn.
That sounds like that could be a country singer.
Dale Elwin.
Everybody, please welcome to the stage, opening up for Morgan Wallen, the great Dale Elwin.
Elwin.
Elwin? That's not a country singer.
Could have been an El winner, but he didn't show up.
Elwinner. Chicken dinner.
Aw.
Well, shoot.
I can't pick any winners. Kid.
Places out. We really tried to give away money, but we answered a lot of questions. I think
Yep.
AMA was a lot of fun. We should do that more often, just like we have guests now. We are doing guests more often onto the podcast.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it again.
I want to do it again. And you know what? What I say goes. So we're going to be doing an Ask Me Anything again some point very soon. I promise. All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate you.
Get some cram.
Get some cram. You guys are winning next week. You know what
6
it's all
names,
about? It's showing up.
$600. People don't start showing up until it gets to 8. I have
Yeah.
figured it out. But next week, 6 names, $600. Get registered for Money Matters. We got all kinds of cool stuff coming your way. Pretty soon, we're launching the show with Coach Brian Hall. We've got Major Ed Polito. We got that show kicking off. We're going to be taking the None of Your Business podcast into the stratosphere. We've got VIP dinners coming up all over the place.
So
we're going
many
to
things.
SoFi for the Los Angeles Chargers Chicago Bears game. We got Marketing Matters coming up in Miami.
There's so many ways to engage with us.
We got you
we
covered.
talked about that today.
We're all over the place. We got you covered. We got your back, everybody.
Love to hug you.
Order some cram. Have a great night. See ya.